Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For any of you that do subscribe to my channel, I'm sure all my videos you've seen are more travel inspired, fitness, makeup, beauty type videos. But now things have changed a bit. I am now a mom. My daughter was born on July 27th this year, and so I wanted to share my life with you guys in terms of motherhood, parenting, and also just my pregnancy journey as well. So I thought I would kickstart the series with a few different videos talking about my pregnancy. And for this one, I wanted to talk about what I did to prepare in my third trimester. So if you guys are interested in learning about that, if you guys are close to entering your third trimester or are already in it and want to take a look at what I did to prepare, then keep on watching. Okay, so I have created a checklist here, and I broke them down in terms of things to prepare for the hospital, things to prepare around the house, and then also just miscellaneous stuff. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is hospital items. Number one is going to be make sure that you register at the hospital you are going to be delivering at. This can be prepared when you're talking with your OB and you decide what hospital to do. Sometimes your OB can register for you, or you can register right then and there at that office. But for me, I registered online because this is during COVID. A lot of things were done virtually and online, so I just registered that way. It was a really quick and easy system, and it's just something that you can quickly check off your list. The next item is going to be packing your hospital bag. I'm going to have an entire video dedicated to what I actually packed in my hospital that I used, but in terms of just the third trimester checklist, that's something you're going to want to make sure that you do research on and figure out how you want to pack it. This also goes along with what your husband or your partner will be packing in their bag as well. So it's not just yours, it's your support system and your support partner as well. The next item on the hospital agenda is going to be finalizing your birth plan. I would say your birth preference document and printing that out. I would print out a few copies just because depending on when you get to the hospital, there may be a changeover in nurses or staff. So you'll want to make sure that each shift change gets a copy of your birth plan. So for me, I just typed it up on Word document with all my preferences, and I printed out about 6 different copies, put them in a manila folder, and then threw that in my hospital bag. So when we got to the hospital, it was really simple to just pull it out and hand it out to everybody. The next thing on the list is going to be picking your pediatrician. So with that, you'll want to make sure that you check with your insurance and find out which pediatricians are covered by your insurance, which ones are top rated and why they're top rated. And then once you actually pick your pediatrician, I recommend calling them up and scheduling a consultation either over the phone or in person. Make sure to have your diaper bag packed or something like that because you're going to have a pediatrician's appointment a few days after you give birth and have left to the hospital. You're not going to want to think about packing a bag with an extra change of diapers, wipes, a change of clothes, a pacifier, all the things that you're going to need in a diaper bag the day before you go to your first pediatrician's appointment. So I recommend getting all of those things together beforehand, and that way when you do go to your pediatrician's appointment 2 to 3 days after this big birth, you don't have to think about it. Alright, I'm going to be moving on to the house section of my checklist. And so the first thing on this checklist is to wash all your clothes and sterilize all of your items, including your bottles and your pacifiers and things of that nature. I recommend washing all those, do a big laundry load, get it done, hang up your clothes or put them in your dresser. I've got a bunch in here. And I've got some cute little dresses hanging in the closet, but that was something that I did during the third trimester that I just didn't have to think about once the baby was here. I could just pick out something and put her in it without having to think about washing it again. If you're going to be having somebody come over while you and your partner are in the hospital, I recommend doubling up the house key so that they can have it at the drop of a dime when you call them and say, hey, we're in labor, come over to the house and take care of whatever you need to take care of. So that was really helpful for my mom to just have a second set of house keys that she could just pop on in without us having to wait around and give her a key. Along with that last item, I recommend making a list of all the items that happen at your house. What I mean by this is if you have gardeners that come every week or every other week on a certain day, I would write that down, that the gardeners come on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Please unlock the gate, things of that nature. Okay, one thing that I'm sure you guys are all aware of is that in order to take your child home from the hospital, you'll need to have a car seat base installed properly in your car along with a car seat. So I recommend getting the car seat base installed before going to the hospital, making sure that it's secured, installed properly. And then also, I would do a test run on taking the car seat and putting it in the car seat base and then taking it out. That way you kind of get a sense for how heavy it will be, the maneuvers of getting things in and out of the car with that car seat, because sometimes it can be a bit bulky and heavy. So I would recommend doing that in advance. Last thing on the house checklist is getting all of your postpartum necessities ready in each of the bathrooms. If you do have a vaginal birth, the hospitals typically provide you with all of the necessary things to help you recover, including pads, mesh underwear, witch hazel pads, Dermablast, that spray, and I recommend actually buying a few extras, maybe on Amazon, and then I did get a little bathroom caddy that I'm able to set up on the back side of each of the toilets, and it has a bunch of those supplies. So every time I went to the restroom, it was really easy for me to just grab and go, and I recommend that you set that up in all of your restrooms that you'll be using throughout the house after you deliver. Okay, last but not least on this checklist are two miscellaneous items that I really couldn't fit into a category. One of those being ordering your breast pump. Most of the time in the US, insurance will provide you with a free breast pump, so I recommend contacting your insurance provider and asking how you can go about doing that. There are a few websites. I think I ordered mine on aeroflow.com, and they will give you a list of all the different breast pumps that you can order that are covered for free. I recommend doing that as soon as you can, and most will allow you to place your order at 34 weeks or on. Last on my checklist is doing date nights. There are a lot of things that you probably will not be able to do for quite some time after your newborn is delivered. You and your spouse or partner will be at home most days just taking care of this little one and getting a routine down. So I recommend taking advantage of the time you have now to go out, go to the movie theaters, walk around the beach, go to the pier, do fancy date nights, because right now I'm 4 weeks postpartum and we have not done that, and I'm dying to do that right now. So I'm really glad that my husband and I were able to take advantage of that time before we delivered Harper, and go to the movies a few times and go out for nice date nights, because I still have a ways to go before we're able to do that, and I really enjoyed doing that before she was born. So take advantage of that time and spend time with your loved ones, and before long you will be making new memories with your little one. Okay, so those are all the items on my checklist. I'm sure I've left off quite a few because there's so much to do before you deliver, but if there's anything that I missed that you guys did in your third trimester or are about to do or in the middle of doing, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you for my next video. Bye!